Hello, and welcome back to Beer Banter Brewcast. I am your host, Steve Johnson, and I want to thank you for tuning in, and hopefully we'll have a little bit of fun today. Today, well, first off, let me start by saying I appreciate everybody that tuned in for the last time. Um, Means a lot. I love all your feedback. I appreciate the comments, um, and I'm excited to start today. Today, we are going to talk about summer and summer beers, especially. Um, Now, like I told you before, I grew up in Texas and now I live here in Colorado. The summers are a little different um, when you compare Texas and Colorado. Texas is a little bit hotter than Colorado, a lot hotter, actually. Here in Colorado, we get 2.5 to 3.5 months of summer. That Memorial Day to Labor Day, we get that. We have all four seasons here in Colorado. It's great. Summers are great here. You're looking at 90, 95 average temp here in Colorado, and humidity is at 0 to 1% here in Colorado. Um, in Texas, you get 7 months of summer. Um, it's a little bit hot. You get about 2 weeks of winter, and then you get about a month and a half for spring and fall together. Just depends on which side of the calendar you're looking at, is if it's fall or spring. But summer in Texas is hot, humid, and long. Um, but it has its upsides. Um, when it comes to staying outside, that's not an upside. It's just hot. So all the fun stuff you do in Texas in the summer is either get in a pool or sit inside under the AC, and hopefully either one you're having a nice cold beer. Um, a little bit of difference. I know humidity in Texas is 100, 110% at all times. The temp is just shy of down south, way down south, if you know what I mean. About 100 on average, it seems like. In Colorado, we get 1 or 2 days at 100 or better. Texas, you get 1 or 2 months consecutively at 100 or better. Um, so, yeah, it's a little bit of difference. But there's a lot of similarities too, and the weather's not one of them. It's going to be what you're doing. Here in Colorado, you're doing a lot of stuff outdoors, a lot of fun stuff outdoors. You're going to be hiking, you're going to be camping, you're going to be going on the lake, going down the river, fishing, you name it. Um, Great weather for all of that. And like I said, it's not excessively hot here and it's not excessively humid here. Texas, you're going to do all the same stuff, except you're just going to sweat the entire time you're doing all of that. Um, Even more so than if you were here in Colorado. So a little different. I'm used to growing up in Texas. I'm used to just taking a shower, walking outside, feel like I didn't dry off because it's just unbelievably humid, unbearable sometimes. Um, Things that I would do in Texas for the summer, I'd float the river. Floating the river was great. Um, the water was warm, the water was slow. You had your cooler next to you with all your beers, just having a good time. Um, Colorado and float the river, it's cold, mountain runoff, fast, and you don't have time to enjoy a beer. Um, so you just got to stop and enjoy your beer instead of float and enjoy. Um, let's see, anything else similar? Well, similar. Let's go to similar. So, some things that you're going to do for summer all the time. You're going to do a lot of yard work, which I like yard work, but in Texas, it's not that fun. Plus, the grass doesn't grow as much because it's dry. It's dry here in Colorado too, um, but you still have yard work to do. A lot of yard work, mowing the yard, weed eating, all that good stuff. One thing similar that you're going to get, which was nice for summer this year, was we got the Olympics, Summer Olympics. That's of all the Olympics, the two. Summer by far is my favorite. I'm not a big fan of hanging out in the snow because it's cold and I don't like the cold. But yet I live in Colorado. I digress. So the Summer Olympics was great. We all got to watch Summer Olympics, enjoy a nice cold beer, watch the Olympics, watch all these high class athletes show up and show out and do a great job. We got to experience new Summer Olympic Games. Every Olympics, the host city gets to add in a couple games, a couple events that they would like to try to progress to other Olympics. This year, one of the events was break dancing, and I didn't think people still did that since the 80s, but I guess that's still a thing. So much so, it's an Olympic sport now, breakdancing. I just want to say that on breakdancing, Australia, I saw, and you guys need to do a lot better. It was kind of embarrassing. You guys are always really good at like swimming and some track events. Maybe don't do breakdancing anymore. I don't know if that's a thing for you guys. Once again, Team USA killed it. I think we had the most medals, so go USA. All right. Now, back to beer. That's why you're here. We're here for beer. Summer beer. What? First off, let's say this. If you have a favorite summer beer, comment below and let me know. I'd like to know because, I'm always looking for a new beer. So let me know what you think. What's your favorite summer beer? All right. So when we're doing summer stuff, it's hot, you get sweaty, and when you're done, you got to clean up, take a shower. I don't know about you, but when I take a shower, it gives me time to think about things and just let my mind wander and just have shower thoughts. Well, today, new segment, we're going to do shower beer thoughts. And to start it off, let's talk about a good summer beer. It's been a good summer beer for a long time. My friends down in Texas, they just got to experience this beer maybe 4 or 5 years ago. It finally got distributed down there. And that's Yuengling. If you don't know, DG Yuengling and Sons. It's been around since 1829. That's a long time. But it's a good solid light beer. Tasty, easy drinker, a lot of flavor. Goes well with a lot of stuff, especially when you're hot, sweaty, goes down nice and smooth. So anybody that loves Yuengling, give me a thumbs up. I actually haven't had Yuengling in a while, so I'll probably have to go out and grab me a 6-pack or so. Another thing, so we have something coming up after summer that only happens every 4 years as well, and that would be the election. Full disclaimer, we're not going to get into politics here. If you want to know that stuff, there's plenty of other outlets to get your thoughts on that. But it makes me think the presidency has had a long storied career of being around for a lot of interesting things, a lot of like prohibition that have to do with beer. So I started thinking, I was like, well, what? Because we know about different presidents doing certain things with beer. Like I was thinking, who was the first president to brew a beer in the White House. Now, it sounds like it should be like, I don't know, George Washington, James Madison, Franklin. Well, he's not president, but it should be one of those guys. You would think one of those guys brewed a beer, and I'm sure they have, and I'm sure they. I know Ben Franklin has his recipes online for I think it's spruce tip beer, but that's besides the point. So in the White House, the first president to brew a beer in the White House is Barack Obama. That was, I don't know, 10 years ago, 12 years ago. That's wild to me to think that it's been this long, and very many presidents are very vocal about enjoying a cocktail, a beer, or whatever. Stressful job, rightfully so. They deserve a cocktail or a beer, and it took this long for a president to brew a beer in the White House, and it was Obama, and it was a Honey Ale, and he did it with a Mr. Beer kit, which some of you may have heard of. A lot of people get their start brewing beer on a Mr. Beer kit. I just think it's weird that it took this long for a president to brew a beer in the White House. And it was a Honey Ale, so nothing challenging, easy drinker. A good summer beer as well, a Honey Ale. Goes down smooth, low ABV, a lot of flavor, good to go. Now, when you're out doing strenuous activities in the summer sun and you're done, you want to have a couple cold ones, you want to sit around with maybe some friends and enjoy a beer or two. We've all done that summer nights and had a couple, maybe a couple too many. But what I think of is, okay, so I know how many beers I've sat down and drank in like one sitting. And you might know how many beers you've sat down and drank in one sitting. What is the Guinness World Record for most beers drank in one sitting? Now, I'll let you ponder that for a second. Well, according to Guinness, it's a lot. First, I'll give you a little backstory of the person of who broke this record, set this record. That's probably not going to get broke anytime soon. This person was a large man, we'll say that. One of the biggest personalities you're ever going to hear about. An easygoing guy. And large. I can't emphasize how large this man is. You may have heard of him if you're a fan of WWE, and it would be Andre the Giant. Yes, Andre the Giant. For context, this guy was, rest in peace, 7'5", and in his heyday was upwards of 500 pounds. That's just baffles my mind to think of how large this guy is. So 7'5", 500 pounds, one sitting, he drank. Now, mind you, these are 12-ounce bottles. He drank 119 in one sitting. Wow. Holy cow. 119, that is insane. Now, 119. I'm trying to think if I ever drank 19 in a day. Probably not. 119 in one sitting. Now, granted, the one sitting was for 6 hours. How many beers can you drink in 6 hours? Not 119. It's not happening. Um, so he drank an insane amount of beers. And if you ever see this guy holding a can of beer, it looks like he's holding a kid's toy. 119 beers. It's just, that's a lot. Okay. So then I start thinking, it's like, okay, he drank 119 in one sitting. He had to have gotten drunk, right? Had to have gotten drunk. Okay. So you have this guy that just drank 119 beers. I'm going to say 119 again. That's a lot of beer. Then he got drunk. Who's picking him up if he falls down? Or if he passes out? Then what happens? You just come back tomorrow, I guess. I don't know. What do you think? I mean, I've helped friends before, and I usually can manage by myself, but I don't know anybody on the planet that's moving a intoxicated Andre the Giant by themselves. I mean, like I said, I'm living here in Colorado. We got one of the world's strongest men lives here, Brian Shaw. He lives, up near Estes. That dude is 6'8", 350, 375. I mean, he's moved a lot of weight, but I don't know. Not by yourself. That's too much. Okay. So since this is shower beer thoughts, what's a good shower beer? What kind of beer are you going to be drinking if you're going to take a shower? Is it going to be a stout? Are you drinking a stout in the shower? Is that what you're doing? Probably not. IPA, a lot of flavor, bold, maybe a hazy. I don't know. What are you drinking? Me, it's going to be it's going to be in a can. It's going to be an easy drinker, crushable, maybe a lager, Pilsner, Hefeweizen. I don't know. That's what I'm drinking. And probably one that I can finish in the allotted time that I'm going to be showering. Just food for thought or beer for thought? Let's go with that. Just beer for thought. What are you drinking in your shower? I need recommendations. Got to change up my beer shower game. All right. So that was shower beer thoughts. Let me know what you think. If you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up, like, comment, all that good stuff. But like always, we're going to do a little taste test today. And then true form of the show today, since today has been kind of a battle, if you will, of who's got the better summer, Texas or Colorado. We're going to do two beers today. First beer, let me get my beers real quick. All right, first beer. When I think of a true summer beer, I think of traditional styles of what kind of beer people made that was refreshing. And when I think of a refreshing beer, traditional style, I'm thinking of a shandy. Typically, a shandy back in the day when they first were making them was like a lager or a pilsner, and they mixed it with soda or lemonade. Soda is not as popular for a shandy here. I know if you go and buy a shandy, usually it's grapefruit, lemon, something citrus, a citrus style beer. Um, and the one I picked today, no different. If you guys listen at home, lemon shandy from Eddie Line, which is here in Colorado. Both beers I picked today are from Colorado. I like to try to keep things local, and Texas does not distribute hardly at all here to Colorado. So if you know somebody, put in a good word for me so I can get some more Texas beers up here because we don't get many. So lemon shandy from Eddie Line. It says it's fresh lemon puree. Not much else it says. It's made in Buena Vista, Colorado. Best part of the day. There's a ASMR section of the show. All right. You don't see that guy? Kind of a darker straw color. A lot of head. Maybe I just suck at pouring beer. Got a little sweetness to it on the smell. Yeah. All right. So we'll set that right there. And let's grab this other one. The other one I got is from Wiley Roots, which is right here where I live in Greeley. Great brewery. Go check them out. But they do a slushy beer. This one is a blueberry limeade. And it says it is 5.5%, which, if it's going to be a summer beer, for me personally, it's got to be an easy drinker and crushable. And 5.5% is definitely in that realm. All right, let's check this guy out. It's a sour ale with blueberry and lime. Cool. Wiley Roots. Oh, a little spray on me there. All right. And as you can tell, I did not leave it in the freezer to get it to slushify. But if you go to the brewery, they'll have several slushy beers on tap, but they'll always have one or two of them in the slushy machine. So that's kind of a cool thing when you go to the brewery. You see it rotating, spinning, and you got a nice little slushy going. Once again, camera doesn't do it justice, but it's kind of got like a dark hue to it. Maybe not so much red. Well, yeah, kind of blueberry. I mean, go figure. It's got blueberry in it. Kind of the similar blueberry tint to the head. Oh yeah, you can smell that lime, and you get, if like you get a good tart drink, you can get it right here in the throat, and you just kind of, yeah, it smells good. Kind of got a little bit of a sweetness to it. That could just be my sense of smell. It's not the greatest, but that's life. All right, so Eddie Line, lemon shandy, traditional, blueberry limeade, slushy beer, non-traditional. Let's see which one comes out on top. Try the traditional limeade or lemon shandy. Sorry. Okay. little sweet. Not so much lemon. Like I can smell the lemon a little bit. Sweet. Sweet. Look, kind of like a lemon candy. Not a lemon shandy. It's supposed to taste like a lemon shandy and have that tartness, but it's got that candy, lemon candy, artificial lemon candy flavor. I don't know. All right. Get a little palate cleanser. A little water. Yeah, that's another thing in Colorado. You gotta drink so much dang water because you're in elevation. It's ridiculous. Even more so in the summer because it's hot. All right. Now, blueberry limeade from Wiley Roots. I'm excited for this one. I like their beers. Smells good. Oh yeah, back of the throat for sure. That's a good one. It makes my mouth water. Um, I definitely get a little bit of blueberry. I think I get more of the limeade flavor than the blueberry flavor. It's there. Blueberry's there. Not as strong as the limeade flavor though, which is weird because if you look at the color of this thing, it should taste like blueberry. But so yeah, so I would say that's a good one. That's a good beer. Definitely hot day in the pool. Those things are going down easy, but it's got a little tartness to it, so that helps. I'm. I don't know if I wouldn't say that's a crushable beer. It's a good beer, but I don't know. All right, so I had them both. They both have their ups and they both have their downs. I would say with the lemon shandy, I'm expecting the lemon shandy, so I'm expecting that tangy tartness, the lemon flavor really coming through, and then I get sweetness. Now, if it said lemon candy shandy, it'd probably be right on point. But it just says lemon shandy, and it's not really hitting it for me. Blueberry limeade, good beer. Says exactly, tastes exactly what it should taste like. I need a slushy machine to get the full effect. Maybe I'll hit up the brewery and try it out. Good beer. I would say if I'm going to pick one, right here, Wiley Roots Slush Blueberry Limeade. Now, I'm not going to say that there's not other summer beers that would be better. But for what I picked, two contrasting styles, new school versus old school style. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Wiley Roots Sour, Blueberry and Limeade, and that's the beer. I think you guys, if you see it on shelves, if you're here in Colorado, pick it up. Maybe make it into a slushy. I don't know. All right, so that is the show. Once again, I appreciate everybody tuning in, taking a listen. You can catch me anywhere you get podcasts for the most part. If you want to listen on Spotify, I'm there. And I'm on Rumble and YouTube. I'll try to get on a couple more. Try to get as much out there as I can. And once again, I appreciate everybody tuning in. And remember, it's just beer. Drink up with your pinky up.